What's up? What's up? What's up? It's Negative Nicole, aka Country Girl in the building. And sticks and stones may break some bones, but these words gonna surely hurt you right up in this thing where the truth ain't always sweet. We got back to back action, y'all. Like back to back action. We just finished up with Vicky White and Casey White. Escape, escape inmates and correctional officer. Vicky, who committed suicide and killed herself. And now we have Lopez on the run from Texas, who escaped from a bus. And I don't know how this happened. Like it's 2022, where things like as far as security, protection, it gets better and better and better. I heard there were no cameras on the bus. That amazes me because it seems like, as a regular citizens, most of our rights are always being taken. I mean, there's cameras everywhere we go, pretty much, but no cameras on the prison bus to show exactly what happened. Imagine if they had cameras on the prison bus when they were transporting these people, and they were watching them the whole way. They had someone back in the prisons watching them the whole way. It would be hard to get away with that. Even if they got away with it on the bus and, got loose or whatever, you could see it from the cameras and go ahead and send help out. It amazes me that they don't have cameras, considering the fact on some school buses, they have cameras on school buses with children. And we're talking about dangerous inmates. You don't have cameras. But enough of that. I want to get into the news report, and we'll do that in a minute. But if you don't know about Vicky and Casey, you probably know now because this picture was plastered pretty much everywhere. Casey was caught and he is in custody, and Vicky killed herself, which is unfortunate, but hey, that's life, and those are choices. And hey, we already talked about that case. Let's go ahead and get into Lopez and see what's up with him and see what's going on. Let's get an update on it. Um, a lot of people already know what's going on. This is coming out of Texas this time, where I'm at, aka Country Girl. Let's go.
Continues in the area west of Centerville, Texas, in Leon County. He escaped yesterday afternoon at about 1:20 from a transport bus that was headed from Gatesville to Huntsville. He was on his way with other inmates to a medical appointment in Huntsville on the transport bus. The transport bus had 16 inmates on it, along with 2 correctional officers. The other 15 inmates did.
I have heard a lot of people saying that there was only one uh, officer on the bus. There was a driver and there was an officer in back of the bus. As that's the normal routine. There were 2. Um, there was a driver and an officer in the back of the bus, as it should have been. There wasn't just one. Let's keep going.
Not escaped. They are still in our custody. Gonzalo Lopez is out there somewhere. We are continuing our search for him. The Texas Department of Criminal Justice is now offering a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. The information on how to provide that information, either by way of an anonymous tip, will be on our social media pages shortly: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There's also a link on.
For the record, I understand that people feel like sorry for the officers and whatnot, but this is their job, and I, for one, feel like it shouldn't have happened. He shouldn't have been able to get away. Like, there's no reason. I don't know if this was an inside job or not, but I mean, yeah, it's possible it can happen. I'm just saying it's 2022, and inmates are pretty much making the same weapons that they have been making since the end of time. And yes, they are very creative. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Let's keep going.
Our website, www.tdcj.texas.gov. Again, that is a $15,000 reward. Stand by.
Also, that reward has went up. We'll get into that later. Let's keep going.
Okay. Again, a $15,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez. He is a very dangerous person. He has a capital murder conviction out of Hidalgo County. He also has an attempted capital murder conviction out of Webb County. He killed a man in 2005 with a pickaxe after kidnapping the man and asking for a ransom for his return. When that was not done, he killed the man with a pickaxe. He also had an accomplice who we still don't know who that was. He also fired shots at a sheriff's deputy in Webb County. So this man is a very dangerous person. If you see him, do not attempt to take him into custody by yourself. Contact 911. Have local law enforcement deal with him. He is someone not to be reckoned with by.
Excuse me. I had to stop right there because I thought of something. Remember, Casey White was facing life or the death penalty. Lopez is facing life as well. You know, if you're facing life and a death penalty, you have nothing to lose. You have nothing to lose. So it's like you can't even fault these people for trying to break out. I mean, what would you do? I mean, especially being a criminal, people are just not gonna, on the bus and you're gonna ride your way to the penitentiary. I mean, if you can get away, you're gonna get away. That's just the reality of it all. It's not too many people that's gonna just, most of these people are shackled down with their hands and feet, so they can't get away. You know, Somehow he did though. Let's keep going.
Yourself. Any questions? It's an ongoing investigation. Can't answer that right now. Now, let me tell you about what I told some folks this morning. You weren't here, so let me go ahead and tell you about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, as the bus was heading eastbound on Highway 7 from Gatesville to here in Centerville, about 1.5 miles west of here, somehow he was able to gain access into the driver's compartment of the bus. He began struggling, fighting with the driver, the correctional officer of the bus.
How do you do that? When you have an officer in the back of the bus watching everyone, how does he get loose long enough? Like you get up and you're trying to unlock the gate in the front. That little, I figure it's like a little gate uh, that cuts them off from the inmates. You're out of your seat, and the officer in the back doesn't see that. You have a long enough time to be out your seat and do all of that. That's crazy. But let's keep going.
They got into a fight. The officer smartly and heroically pulled the bus over to the side of the road. When the bus got over to the side of the road, he and the inmate got out of the bus and continued to struggle and fight each other outside of the bus. There was another officer that was in the back of the bus with a shotgun. That officer, stand by just a minute. I'm sorry. That officer got out of the back of the bus through the emergency door, fired 2 shots into the rear tires of the bus to disable it. During that moment, the inmate got back on the bus. The officer that he had been struggling with, he had tried to get his service weapon on his side. He was able to get it off of his. He was able to get the belt off of his waist, but he did not get the weapon out of the holster. He didn't understand how to get it out of what we call a 3-point. He didn't understand how to get it out of the 3-point. We have the gun in our possession. He never had possession of the gun as he fled from the scene. But he got back behind the wheel of the bus, continued driving the bus about another mile down the road with the flattened back tires. He then lost control of the bus, went off of the side of the road about 1.5 miles west of here. That's when the officers caught up with him, or caught up to the bus. They ran down the road. and they fired shots at him as he was running across the cow pasture. We don't think he got hit. They fired both their service weapons and a shotgun in his direction as he was headed northbound through the cow pasture. Last we saw him, he was in all white garb, white shirt, white pants. Don't know if he's still dressed like that or not. He's now been out there for almost 24 hours. This happened at 1:20 yesterday afternoon. So, again, $15,000 reward now being offered for the arrest, for any information leading to the arrest and capture of Gonzalo Lopez.
Okay, so with them releasing the dogs and be on the scene that fast, he's either high up in the trees, and I don't think he is because they did release dogs. It's like a movie when an inmate escapes and they run to the residence or something like that. He could be in a home holding someone hostages in one of the houses. I mean, that could just be what that is. They say he has ties to the cartel. So if this was planned, then who knows where he is at this point. But as fast as they got on the scene, I don't know. He could be holding a family hostage or something. I also seen a post and there was someone commented. She said that she lives in the neighborhood. She called the police department and asked them if it was safe, and they didn't. She felt like they really didn't care about the situation or whatever. She said that she saw officers in the neighborhood patrolling and rolling, riding around, but she didn't see them knocking on any doors asking if people were okay. So I advise people that are close in that area to check on their people, because that's what I would think. At first, they said he had been shot. I saw a news report where they said that they thought, allegedly, that they thought that they hit him, but now they're saying that they don't think he was shot. So if that's the case, they were on the scene pretty quick, to my knowledge. The only way you could escape is to run up in somebody's home and hold them hostage, and he could be there, and maybe he was there and did that. I was finna say, well, maybe he was there and did that, and he could be gone now. But if that happened, they clearly would have contacted law enforcement unless he went to someone's home, held them hostage, was able to change clothes, killed them, and now he could be anywhere now that he's left and has a change of clothes and probably in a you know in a disguise or something like that. So, but let's keep going.
Yes. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. There is a door. There's a door that separates the seated area for the inmates from the compartment where the officer is seated. It's a door with some wire mesh around on this side. Somehow, we don't know yet how that happened. He got up underneath. He used some type of a device to cut out the bottom of that door. He got down underneath the door. He crawled underneath the door, and when he got through that opening that he cut open, that's when he started struggling with the officer. Let me give you.
Now, he said some type of device. Uh Not a weapon, but some type of device, which he doesn't know what it was. But with them being searched like thoroughly, I'm just not understanding like what type of weapon, and like it doesn't matter what type of weapon it was. If he had a key, how do you have an officer in the back watching these inmates, and an inmate is able to get out of his seat and start fumbling around with the door to get through it without the officer in the back even acknowledging or seeing that and being alert, because that's what he's back there for. The driver is there to drive. That's the only thing that he can do is drive. The officer in the back is there to watch his back. So what was he doing? What was he doing? You know, that's negligence on his part. And no one's talking about that because we're just talking about how brave the officers were. But this is their job and mistakes were being made. That's clear. Okay, you have to be that you have to be accountable for that. That's your job to ride on that bus and make sure that these inmates get there safe and sound without escaping. I just don't understand how he was able to get out of his seat and fumble around with the damn door to get up there and start fighting with the driver. What was the officer in the back doing? Because it couldn't have been that quick. Let's keep going.
The name of the two officers. Officer Randy Smith was the driver of the bus. He was the one that suffered a puncture wound to his hand when he got in a fight with the inmate. The inmate used something to stab him. We don't know what that was just yet. He stabbed him in the hand. Officer Smith later discovered when he got home that he had also gotten punctured in the chest. How he didn't know that, we still don't know, but
You know how he didn't know that. When you're in a fight, everyone knows your adrenaline is rushing, is running. And sometimes you just don't feel a lot of things. Like, I mean, people have been shot before and they didn't know that they had been shot because of the adrenaline. But once again, if there were cameras on that bus, we know exactly what went down. I mean, because there are cameras on all of us everywhere we pretty much go. There are even cameras in places that they shouldn't have cameras that they can't even say anything about when a crime is committed because there shouldn't be cameras there. Like I said, they're on school buses, but you don't have them on buses with criminals. Let's keep going.
these are non-life threatening injuries to Officer Smith. The other officer, Officer Jimmy Breiniger, the officer that was in the back with the shotgun, he was not hurt. He was the one that fired the two shots into the rear wheels of the bus to disable it so that it couldn't go further. The other inmates stayed on the bus. They were not able to get out of their restraints somehow. Again, we don't know how. It's still under investigation. We don't know how he got out of his restraints to get up underneath that door and get into the driver's compartment.
I mean, luckily he was the only one releasing. He wasn't the type of inmate to start unlocking and uh, uh letting all the other inmates free. He just free. He was just looking out for himself. Thank God for that, right?
Correct. Yes. Yes, it is a secured door. There is a key that is used to open that, but he didn't use a key to open that door. He used some type of device. We don't know what. Some type of device to cut out the bottom of the door. There's an opening. I'll show you with my hands. There's an opening maybe about that wide, maybe about that wide, maybe about that high. He crawled underneath that from the floor up. He crawled underneath that, and then he got up there where the driver of the bus was. Yes, yes, yes. Metal. He's seated. He's seated. And he didn't see we don't believe he saw what was going on either. This is still part of our ongoing investigation.
How he didn't see what was going on? That's what he's there for, to see what's going on. He's seated back there chilling. Just he just back there chilling. He wasn't doing his job. He's supposed to be looking out. That's not supposed to be a comfortable ride. You have inmates on there that's serving life like dangerous criminals on there. You're supposed to be alert. You know what I'm saying? That's part of his job, to be alert. But let's keep going. Let's keep making excuses and let's keep going.
Investigation. Both officers are being very cooperative in talking about what happened. Let me tell you this: these two officers acted very heroically for what they dealt with and how they dealt with it.
Yeah, let's always take up for the officers because they never do anything wrong. I'm not saying their job is not dangerous and their job is not hard, but watching those inmates, he should have been alert. That's what he was there to do, and he should have done his job. He was not doing his job. He failed at doing his job. I mean, if I was the driver, I don't know, I kind of be upset. I don't know, I'll be upset because you ain't have my back. You let somebody just like me and my homie together, and they in back of me, let somebody else sneak up on me and attack me and stab me to death or something. Like you not watching my back. Let's keep going.
The officer that fired the shots with his shotgun into the rear wheels of the bus, that was smart thinking on his part to do that to disable that bus. Had he not done that, there's no telling where we might have this bus right now with 15 or 16.
Now, what smart thinking is not falling asleep back there in the back while you transporting inmates to a prison, dangerous inmates. You know, not paying attention. That would have been smart on the officer's behalf. But you know how we do with officers when they make mistakes. Let's take up for them. Let's talk about they're still heroes. If they make a mistake, they should be held accountable. And I feel like he should be fired. But that's just me. Let's keep going. I bet if he was fired, when it, when you take those inmates on another bus ride, I bet the other officer that's sitting back there in the back, he'll be alert the whole time to the penitentiary. I bet those mistakes wouldn't keep happening. But when these mistakes happen, y'all keep letting them have their job, tell them how heroic they were, and good job, and these things happen. Nah, this is your job. You failed at it, and you should be fired. But hey, that's just my opinion on fixing the problem. To hold people accountable and make examples out of people so this could never happen again. We have another dangerous inmate on the loose. All the officer in the back had to do was sit back there and pay attention. Because he didn't do his job, lives could be in danger. But hey, who cares about that as long as the officer was heroic, right? Man, let's keep going.
Inmates on it somewhere here, who knows where here in East Texas. We don't know what could have happened. Officer Breiniger was very smart to fire those shots into the rear wheels of that bus. Officer Smith, again, he acted heroically as well to make sure that Lopez did not get his gun. So both officers be commended for their heroic actions.
USAA is made for the safe pilots, like Sergeant Hayden, who won't return a call.
Thank you, Clay. Yes, we've got about 300 over 300 law enforcement officials out here. Let me tell you, we do have the FBI that is now assisting us in the investigation. Also got the U.S. Marshals Service assisting. We've got various law enforcement agencies around in the area. We've got Leon County Sheriff's Department. We've got Jewett Police Department. Let me commend the Jewett. The Jewett Police Department was the first law enforcement agency on the scene when the.
Well, damn. Y'all got all those people searching and still haven't found him? I mean, y'all got a lot of people on him and you still haven't found him. Okay, it took about what, 11 days to catch Vicky and Casey White? Let's see how many days, and it was like 15,000. We're at 15,000 for Lopez. Well, it done went up. It hasn't even been about 2 weeks for Lopez, but we done went up on that bread, haven't we? We done went up on that money. And I hope y'all paid James. I think his name was James, the car wash man. I hope y'all paid him his 15,000 and didn't take no taxes up out of it. You know what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Bus crashed yesterday. They were the ones that were first on the scene. The officer was driving down the road, saw what had happened, and he immediately began helping Officer Breiniger and Officer Smith.
And y'all still couldn't catch him. Like, he passing by on the scene while this shit going down. The inmate running. And y'all still couldn't catch him or find him. I mean, I can understand, you know what I'm saying? When somebody running from their life, they about to do time, like a life sentence. He probably was running pretty quick, probably was pretty fast. But I'm just saying, y'all supposed to be in training though. You know what I'm talking about? And y'all got guns. But hey, excuses. They were heroic. Let's keep going.
So we've got Department of Public.
Yeah, they call me Negative Nicole, aka Country Girl. The truth ain't always sweet, and I don't give no about it. Let's keep going.
Public safety here. You can see them behind me with the roadblock. Highway 7 between Centerville and Marquay is shut down. If anybody is planning on driving down Highway 7 from Centerville westbound, make another plan. You're not going to get through there. Also, Highway 79 that runs from Marquay up to Buffalo, we are asking the public to please not use that roadway as well because that's part of our perimeter. Interstate 45, we can't really do anything about it. It's a major thoroughfare.
Oh no, you ain't gonna do nothing about 45. I'll be on 45. Real talk. And don't be having no look, don't be asking me for my license, insurance, and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black female. Y'all looking for Lopez. I'm clearly not a Mexican. Let's keep going.
But if anybody sees anything suspicious along I-45, please let us know. So we've got a triangular area that is set up. Centerville westbound on Highway 7, northeast on Highway 79 up to Buffalo, Buffalo back down to Centerville on I-45.
Yeah, I-45, that me. I be always on I-45. You know what I'm talking about? Let's keep going.
Yeah. You talking about our trucks? Our trucks are part of the investigation. They're going out to the perimeter. Yeah, shift change. Yeah, yeah. And as you probably noticed, the commercial traffic, a lot of trucks use this road, and DPS blockade back here, they're turning them around. Any other questions? Again, we want to emphasize there is now a $15,000 reward for information leading to the.
Okay, like I said, that amount has went up. But let me go over here. I went on social media and I seen a couple of posts. You guys and gals, be safe out there. Thank you for all you do. I guess they're talking about the law enforcement. Someone could have picked him up and they be long gone from the area by now. Yeah, if it was planned, you know what I'm saying, he knew he had to get up out of there right there at that point in spot. But the way it's being described, I'm not sure about that. Due to his ties to the Mexican mafia, I'm sure you're correct. He had this all planned out. Uh, Maybe so, but it could have been some cars or something like that on the road. But ain't no telling. He could have. He got ties to the Mexican mafia. I didn't know that. Maybe so. Now the way an inmate is almost double shackled, you saying he managed to break free enough to attack the driver and steal the bus? Exactly. You hear me? Like exactly. He managed to break free, steal the bus. Like he jump off that bus. He jump off the bus fighting with the driver, then jump back on it and take off. They shoot the tires out. You know what I'm saying? And I wonder what the other inmates was on there, doing. Because if I'm an inmate, uncuff me. You know what I'm talking about? Like uncuff, let me go too. You know what I'm saying? But people be out for themselves. The first thing I'm wondering is, even if he got out of his restraints, aren't they behind in a locked gate? I just can't picture you transporting inmates on a vehicle and there are no barriers between you and them. Yeah, uh, they got barriers between the driver, and the inmates and the officer in the back. So they're saying that he got loose. When he got loose, the officer in the back didn't see him. When He got out of his seat and started fumbling with the gate or the steel door or whatever that's right there, blocking the driver, protecting the driver. The officer in the back didn't see him out of his seat, cutting anything, whatever he did to get through that door, sliding under the door. The officer in the back, he didn't see nothing. I don't know if he was back there asleep, drinking, uh, on social media on his phone. I don't know what he was doing to be distracted. But he missed all of that. But once again, he was heroic. Yeah. Okay. Brenda says, I remember one who escaped from Beto in the 80s. He was up in a tree for days. He finally came down. He said he couldn't take it anymore. You know, what if he is up in one of them trees, like got up in there real high? A lifer, like you really trying to get away. It's a lot of things that you can do. Your adrenaline running. It's a lot of things that you can do. And there's no telling where he's hiding. He could be somewhere. I'm thinking he ran into one of those houses, but like when somebody is on the run and they refuse to go back, they could be anywhere. Like you wouldn't believe. Yep, I have a feeling he's long gone. Continued prayers for all the law enforcement and agencies. I mean, they're not in any danger, not at this time. I don't see why. We need to be praying for the residents and the people on the street. That's what we need to be paying for. Law enforcement, their job is to be dangerous. That's like sending your loved ones to the army. You know what I'm saying? They could be killed when they go to war. That's their job, and they know it, and they're ready to rumble. They're ready. And I'm going to tell you something about them. They stay alert. You know what I'm saying? Slippers count. Accidents count. And as you can see, accident in slippers, the driver back there in the back, he was slipping and it counted. Some of you think so highly of law enforcement and correction officers, but some are more crooked than the inmates. Facts. That's no lie. Like real talk. I mean, corrections officer Vicky White just helped Casey White escape. That's not the only case. We heard cases of these corrections officers sleeping with inmates all the time, the male and the females. It's just not the females. It's the male and the females. Yes, they do this all of the time. Hopefully, they've been conducting an extensive investigation on all three COs already because there's absolutely no way that they weren't in on it. Anyone who has knowledge about TDCJ transport knows that this history makes absolutely no sense unless COs help this man escape and it was all a setup. I mean, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised, Christina, like at all. I definitely wouldn't be surprised. Okay, so now this is what I want to do. I want to go inside. Remove this. Let me do this. Okay, I want to do that just yet. I want you to see what some of the residents were saying in Texas because, like the old movies back in the day about Texas and see our gun laws, we can carry without a permit now. So it's the wild, wild west. And as far as being closed up and being scared, no, we don't play that. You know what I'm saying? People ready to rumble. But because this happened as a sneak attack, the driver didn't do his job, and the inmate was able to escape. Now, somebody catching you outside your yard, walking into your house, we don't know that an inmate is loose. Yeah, you can get us, but now knowing that the inmate is loose, everybody is locked and ready to rock. The only way somebody in Texas is gonna get hurt is that they don't know about this situation, or it occurred when we did not know that Lopez was on the loose. Other than that, let's get into it. Let's see what the residents of Texas really think about this inmate being loose. Are we ready or what?
In Centerville, state police are going through every car here trying to find Lopez.
We're locked and loaded. I mean, seriously, it's not, I mean, that's who we are. I mean, we protect our neighbors and, we're good.
Centerville Independent School District canceling classes Friday as a precaution. Lopez, a convicted murderer for killing a man with a pickaxe in 2005.
I get a lot of questions throughout the day if they caught him and all that, and it's just crazy. Everybody's pretty much armed and ready to go.
This is a very quiet town. You very seldom see any kind of problems like this.
Helicopters, horses, and dogs joining the massive manhunt. Several agencies looking for Lopez.
The public doesn't need to be deal with this guy. Let us deal with him.
We already let y'all deal with him. We let y'all deal with him, and that's the reason why he loose. You know what I'm talking about? So if he come fucking around our backyards, fucking around with us, did you hear the first female? Hold on, let me take it back a little bit, cause y'all might not understand how we rolling. I don't know what he talking about, cause he's talking about his officers is heroic. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And let them handle it. We got this. We see y'all slipping. You know what I'm saying? We can't wait for y'all to do nothing. If he come fucking around a nigga house in our backyard and all that there, we got this.
Here trying to find Lopez.
We're locked and loaded.
You heard him. We locked and loaded.
I mean, seriously, it's not, I mean, that's who we are. I mean, we protect our neighbors and, we're good.
Centerville Independent School District canceling classes Friday as a precaution. Lopez, a convicted murderer for killing a man with a pickaxe in 2005.
I get a lot of questions throughout the day if they caught him and all that, and it's just crazy. Everybody's pretty much armed and ready to go.
You don't hear nobody talking about they scared, they nervous, or nothing like that. Everybody it would say we just ready. You hear me? We just ready.
This is a very quiet town. You very seldom see any kind of problems like this.
Helicopters, horses, and dogs joining the massive manhunt. Several agencies looking for Lopez.
The public doesn't need to be deal with this guy. Let us deal with him.
Authorities believe Lopez could be getting desperate. Tomorrow, temperatures here in East Texas could reach close to 100 degrees. Do you have any?
And in Texas, you hear me? 100 degrees in Texas is hot, and it gets hotter than that. So if he out there in them woods, that heat gonna bring him out. Bring him out, bring him out. You know the song? Bring him out, bring him out. He got to be in somebody's house. This heat gonna bring his ass out. He just say, here I am, here I be. With his arms up. Arrest me, take me in. That heat'll make you give up. That's like fire on your ass in Texas.
Information that leads to his recapture, you could earn a reward of more than $20,000. We're live in East Texas tonight. Matthew Seedorf, Fox 26 News.
As I said, their reward done went up. You know what I'm saying? They put more on his ass than they did Vicky and Casey. You know what I'm saying? That reward done went up. Let me see something right here about that reward. Hold on for a sec. Give me a sec. It says U.S. Marshals are offering $10,000. TDCJ is offering $5,000. And DPS is offering $7,500, which comes to a total of $22,500 with all three pitching in on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So if you're seeing, go ahead and claim that 22,000. You know what I'm saying? He ain't your homie, he ain't your friend, he ain't your family. And he's straight up crazy, stabbing around this motherfucker. And a shoot something. This is a lifer. If you don't know him, he ain't your friend. This ain't like, oh, I'm thugging. Come in here, Lopez, I hide you out. He fuck around and kill you and your whole family. You know what I'm saying? That ain't the type of person you help. You know what I'm talking about? So I want to show you the inside of a prison bus. Now, this is an old prison bus, but it still has the same pretty much barriers that are showing you how they separate themselves from the inmates. So let's go inside this prison bus so you can really kind of get a picture of how everything was on the bus.
Tour of the bus in its original state. I just want to walk you through the bus and show you all of its features before I do anything to it. So up here you got the engine compartment, and this is the driver's seat with the requisite million knobs and buttons and things on the side. I've actually got this all figured out now. It runs pretty well. It's got intercom system and a few little features left over from the days of...
It got an intercom system. So that's funny. So if the driver is up there, like the driver didn't see this coming at all. What is the officer in the back doing? Like, I fought him. The driver, he can't do nothing but pretty much drive. He can look back and watch his back every now and then, but he can't do nothing but pretty much drive. The officer in the back that can see everything, he is the one that's supposed to have the driver's back. And he did not have the driver's back. You know what I'm saying? If the driver could have saw that, as they show, he has an intercom in the front. He could have got on that. He could have got on there and called for help. But before he know it, he up there driving. The inmate is loose and on his ass. The inmate on his ass before he know it. The officer in the back there chilling. You know what I'm talking about? But he's heroic and I'm tripping. So let's keep going.
Running prisoners. This is a list I found on the bus. 82 cuffs, 2 chains, 13 leg irons. And then this one over here is actually a list of prisons in the state. This must have been the route the driver took with all the prisoners. All right, so up front behind the driver, you've got this big old lockbox. And inside is not a whole lot of stuff, just kind of some boxes and trash and whatnot. But there is this box of papers, and I want to go through these here in a second and show you what these are. They're kind of interesting.
He does go through those papers. They have papers, the laws and the procedures and everything. We're not gonna go through that with him. I just want to show you the inside of the bus, and as I said, this is an old bus, but I'm just letting you see the barriers that they have from the front to the back, and it could be different now. Like you see the gates with the little holes and stuff in them. That may be different, but it's still separated. And I'm just trying to imagine how this inmate was able to, like, once you stand up and get out your seat, even if he ducked down and was on the floor, I don't care. The officer in the back is there for a reason. Or am I tripping? Am I tripping or what?
I'll do that in a second once I do a bigger kind of tour of the bus. You've also got a jump seat here for probably another guard or any passengers to ride on. And there's a phone system. There's actually 3 phones in the bus that connect the driver to the 2 additional guards.
It's all kind of emergency aid on that bus if the driver had known what was going on. If the officer in the back could have just yelled up, "Hey, look out!" Anything. You know what I'm saying? To let him be aware of it, but nothing. Nothing. He just let him run up on it. Just nothing. I gotta drive the bus in fight. Cause you don't let somebody get loose on me. You know, when you're working at a regular job and you make a mistake like that, you'll lose your job. But in this case, the officer is heroic because everybody want to always take up for the officer. Now, we need to start holding these people accountable so we can weed out the bad and we can correct the system. If we keep on letting officers make these type of mistakes, everybody must make mistakes. Don't get me twisted. Everybody make mistakes. And it's okay to make a small mistake. But in this case, we have a deadly inmate on the loose because the officer in the back was back there slipping. But he is heroic. Man, y'all tripping. I know I'm not. Let's keep going.
And then this is the door separating the driver from the prisoners. And you can see it just slides open and shut, and there's some plexiglass on here. Inside the bus, it is in really, really good condition. This is a 16-year-old bus, and there's not one bit of graffiti, not one tear on any of the seats or anything like that. These guys were chained up and handcuffed, and so didn't have any freedom to move inside the bus. You know that because if you check out the evacuation procedures, in case of emergency, number 1, stay seated. 2, bus security will remove chains. You will remain handcuffed. And 3, passengers on the opposite side of the driver will be evacuated first. So over on this side, bus security will direct you to a safe area. So they were chained up in the bus, and it shows. The bus is in good shape on the inside. No cuts or tears or graffiti or anything. It does have a couple of emergency exits. They pop open for fresh air and are watertight when they're closed. It's also got these 2 big old air conditioning units, one on either side. There's one there and one here. So it was set up with AC and heat. That's because none of these windows open. They're all wedged shut from the outside. Not welded shut, but they're just little wedges on the outside that lock them shut. In the back, you've got a stainless steel commode.
And this where his ass was back here at. You see, it's an opening like back here where the toilet is, but I'm sure it's probably like not like that now. I'm pretty sure it's closed off, and this probably was too. There's no telling. And even if it wasn't, that's even more crazier because you don't have to unlock anything to get to the front if you see the inmate up out of his seat. And I'm not saying he stood up because who would do that? I mean, if I got loose out of my shackles and everything like that, I would crawl down low to the ground too. But that doesn't matter. They have the officer in the back for a reason. He was not doing his job. And that's the reason why it is very important to have cameras on these buses. And even with this mistake, they're probably still not going to get the cameras on the bus. But if it was me and I was under, if you are on the authority of me, there will be cameras on that bus. I mean, they act like everything is so expensive. I bought my camera for like 60,000. Why they gotta act like cameras on a van is gonna cost what? Like $10,000, $20,000 to get cameras on these buses. I mean, I said van. You know, that everything gotta be extreme. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep going.
And that goes to a black water tank underneath, and there's also a water tank. And then there's this other area here for another guard. So this back guard would be locked up in the back, and has a seat back here, emergency exit, and let's see what else. There's a cup holder right here. Here you got the engine compartment, and this is the driver's seat with the requisite
Hold up. Hold up. Let me take y'all back.
knobs and mode, and that goes to a black water tank underneath, and there's also a water tank. And
let me go back.
Set up with AC and heat mode, and that goes to a black water tank underneath, and there's also a water tank.
That's why I never do the crime. Never do the crime so you won't have to do the time. Like if I gotta use the bathroom or anything like that, if I got a number 2, I just go back there in front of everybody, like in a cell. You go back there in front of everybody. And I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't be in a cell laying down sleep and you doing a number 2 and I have to smell that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's fucked up for me. Like I can't deal with stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the privacy being taken, that's just too much for me. Let's keep going.
And then there's this other area here for another guard. So this back guard would be locked up in the back, and has a seat back here, emergency exit, and let's see what else. There's a cup holder right here.
This is where we stopped at before I accidentally took you back. The cup holder. It don't need to be no goddamn cup holder back there. See, that's the problem. The officer in the back there big chilly. Back there big chilly. He might have even had a little alcohol. You know, they regular people. I don't care. People refuse to think that officers drink on the job. We got plenty cases of officers pulling people over drunk and high and even on cocaine. It ain't no allegedly. Like these things really, really happen. Like real talk. And he got a cup holder back there for what? He just back there big chilling, looking out the window on social media while inmate is escaping, about to jump on the driver. Man, let's keep going.
And a switch for a heater, that's a heater underneath the seat for the guard. And there's the other phone, so the guard in the back can talk to the guard up in front. There are 21 seats for prisoners, so that would make for about 42 prisoners here on the bus.
Okay, guys, and I'm not sure. I believe they said that there were 16 prisoners on the bus at that time. I'm not don't quote me on that. You know what I'm saying? I believe that's what they said. But hey, if you're looking for some good prison movies, some prison escape movies, you might want to get into these. A lot of you already know about these. These are my favorite. I actually watched these movies today. Let's take a look. I laughed so hard because Chris Tucker kills me. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't even imagine being a black man and him acting like he running something. I said, get to the back. Let's get to the back. He see Chris Rock. Oh Lord, I'm talking about Chris Rock. Chris Tucker. Damn. And it's like, you gotta be somebody. You about to see the somebody that he is. He's about to turn, his people is about to turn up. And I figure if he's with if Lopez was with the mafia, it probably would have went down something like this. I'm not sure if they helped him escape, because I figure they would have did it big. So that was Money Talks, and it is a really good movie for those who haven't watched it. And if you have watched it, you probably want to just watch it again. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have anything to do, you sitting up chilling and whatnot. But then we have one more, The Fugitive, which is a really, really good one. And this is how it went down with Lopez.
20 miles from Menard. Should be there about 40 minutes. Yeah, I'll be glad to get rid of this load. Let Mackenzie take care of them.
Always got something good to eat and starve.
T Dollars, I see you out there rip. Y'all see that black man when he pointed the gun, dive over to the other side in the midst of all the drama. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to be hit. I would say the hell with it. Cause the train coming. I mean, I know that's right. Gotta go. Cause the train coming. You know what I'm saying? But I thought the captain, come on, you ain't gonna go down with the ship? That's crazy. You gonna leave your boy. Cause the train coming. I mean, I'm up out of there too. You know what I'm talking about? But I'm just saying though, come on, man, you gonna leave your boy. Let's keep going. It's a oldie, but it's a goodie. I'm telling you, if I say anything about any movie on here, I'm talking real facts. It's a oldie, but it's a goodie. Where is Lopez? Where is Lopez? Those two movies are Money Talk and The Fugitive. My thing is he in someone's home holding them hostage? We've seen movies like this 1,000 times where the inmate escapes and they got to go to a nearby place. Or is he up in the trees? Is he up in the woods? You know what I'm saying? In this Texas heat, you going to come down from there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you going to come there, you dead up in a tree? You know what I'm talking about? But, you know what I'm saying? He's somewhere. That's facts. And how long will it take them to catch him? We all know the officer in the back, he's heroic. It doesn't matter that his job is to make sure that things like this doesn't happen. He's heroic. He's a hero. You know what I'm talking about? But you work anywhere else and you make those type of mistakes, what's going to happen to you? Oh, don't ignore the cash app going across the screen. Money sign negative Nicole 2021. You know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But it is time for me to go. I'm going to say one thing before I go that everybody knows. And that is slippers count and they damn sure counting. Let's go.